Hello everyone, John Faulk here with JagSuccess. Today we're going to be covering the topic of composition functions as seen as precalculus. Let's go over a little bit of notation that you might see. If we have two functions, f of x and g of x, you may see composition functions written as fog, as some people like to call it. But it can also be written as f of g of x. And so these are composition functions, and I like this notation right here a little bit better than this one, mainly because this one actually tells you what is going on. We're taking the function f of x, and for every x we're replacing it with g of x. So let's look at an example and see what that means. So if we have f of x equal to x squared plus 2 and g of x equal to 2x minus 1, f of g of x, or some people may write it f of g of x, is equal to, so if we take f of x and we put a parentheses where every x would go in f of x, and we put g of x into this parentheses, then this would give us the composition function. So if we were to fill this out, we'll have 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1 plus 2, and this would be 4x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 1 plus 2. Then we would get 4x squared. Combining like terms, we get minus 4x and plus 3. And this would be our composition function. And it's as simple as that, just replacing the exterior function f, replacing every x with g of x by placing a parentheses where x would go and putting the function g of x within those parentheses. Let's look at one more example to hit it home. So let's say that g of x equals the square root of x plus 1 minus 3, and f of x equals x squared minus 1. And we want to know what g of f of x, or written as g of of x, is. So this one we would take our exterior function, our g, and we're going to replace every x with a parentheses. So we'll have the square root of parentheses plus 1 minus 3. And in this parentheses here, we're going to put f of x in there. So we have x squared minus 1. So if we do a little bit of simplification, this minus 1 and plus 1 go away. So we have g of f of x equals the square root of x squared minus 3. And the square root and square cancel each other out. So we simply have x minus 3. And that is the composition function. So one more time, we take our exterior function g, or if it's f of g of x, we would take f, but in this case, g being the exterior function, we're going to write out that function, and where every x is, we're going to put a parentheses, as seen here, and within that parentheses, we're going to put in f of x, and we simplify, and we will get our composition function.